Hi.
Hello.
We're continuing to read from Fred Franz's book In Search of Christian Freedom in the chapter The Channel of God. We had just finished hearing what Fred Franz had to say about the need for the organization and for adherence to it. Complete. Okay. This, however, was the testimony of only one man, Fred Franz, the vice president. There were two other responsible officials of the headquarters organization who had come to Scotland to testify. Did their testimony confirm his on these matters? Next on the stand was the Society's legal counsel, Hayden C. Covington. Following are statements he made during the course of his testimony.
Question. Is it not vital to speak the truth on religious matters? Answer. It certainly is. Question. Is there in your view room in a religion for a change of interpretation of Holy Writ from time to time? Answer. There is every reason for a change in interpretation as we view it of the Bible. Our view becomes more clear as we see the prophecy fulfilled by time. Question. You have promulgated, forgive the word, false prophecy. Answer. I do not think we have promulgated false prophecy. There have been statements that were erroneous, that is the way I put it, and mistakes. Question. Is it a most vital consideration in the present situation of the world to know if the prophecy can be interpreted into terms of fact when Christ's second coming was? Answer. That is true, and we have always striven to see that we have the truth before we utter it. We go on the very best information we have, but we cannot wait until we get perfect, because if we wait until we get perfect, we'd never be able to speak. Question. Let us follow that up just a little. It was promulgated as a matter which must be believed by all members of Jehovah's Witnesses that the Lord's second coming took place in 1874? Answer. I am not familiar with that. You're speaking on a matter that I know nothing of. Question. You heard Mr. Franz's evidence. Answer. I heard Mr. Franz testify, but I am not familiar with what he said on that. I mean the subject matter of what he was talking about. So I cannot answer any more than you can, having heard what he said. Question. Leave me out of it. Answer. That is the source of my information, what I have heard in court. Question. You have studied the literature of your movement? Answer. Yes, but not all of it. I have not studied the 7 volumes of the studies of the scriptures. And I have not studied this matter that you are mentioning now of 1874. I am not at all familiar with that. Question. Assume from me that it was promulgated as authoritative by the Society that Christ's second coming was in 1874. Answer. Taking that assumption as a fact, it is a hypothetical statement. Question. That was the publication of false prophecy. Answer. That was the publication of a false prophecy. It was a false statement or an erroneous statement in fulfillment of a prophecy that was false or erroneous.
Talks like a lawyer.
Question. And that had to be believed by the whole of Jehovah's Witnesses? Answer. Yes, because you must understand, we must have unity. We cannot have disunity with a lot of people going every way. An army is supposed to march in step. Question. You do not believe in the worldly armies, do you? Answer. We believe in the Christian army of God. Question. Do you believe in the worldly armies? Answer. We have nothing to say about that. We do not preach against them. We merely say that the worldly armies, like the nations of the world today, are a part of Satan's organization, and we do not take part in them. But we do not say that the nations cannot have their armies. We do not preach against warfare. We are merely claiming our exemption from it. That is all.
We have no problem with them. They're just satanic.
Question. Back to the point now. Answer. False prophecy was... Back to the point now is the question. A false prophecy was promulgated? Answer. I agree that. Question. It had to be accepted by Jehovah's Witnesses? Answer. That is correct.
Question. If a member of Jehovah's Witnesses took the view himself that that prophecy was wrong and said so, he would be disfellowshipped? Answer: yes, if he said so and kept persisting in creating trouble, because if the whole organization believes one thing, even though it be erroneous, and someone else starts on his own trying to put his ideas across, then there is disunity and trouble. There cannot be harmony. There cannot be marching. When a change comes, it should come from the proper source, the head of the organization, the governing body, not from the bottom upwards, because everyone would have ideas, and the organization would disintegrate and go into 1,000 different directions. Our purpose is to have unity. So this reasoning to me just seems absolutely incredible, because truth doesn't matter. What matters is unity.
Yes, it does appear that Hayden Covington genuinely doesn't have any knowledge of the 1874 thing, but it doesn't seem to matter to him.
Yeah. But even that is a little odd, since he's their counsel. You would think somebody who's hired to be counsel to the organization would be a little more familiar with history.
You would hope. So it is rather humiliating to have a counsel who is not one of Jehovah's Witnesses telling you about your own history.
Mm, yeah.
So when Covington, like Franz, emphasizes this unity, we have to ask, is that unity at all costs? And that's in the next segment.